Good afternoon, everybody, and I welcome you all to the 22nd session of Talksopedia. Thank you so much for attending this session. And before I start the session, I would like to take you through certain rules and regulations of our online sessions. As you all know, you need to keep yourself on mute. If you think you are in a comfortable position or in a comfortable place, you can keep your videos on. Now, and as always, you can keep a notebook and pen along with you so that you can take down some important points from the session. Now it's time to introduce the guest speaker. Our guest speaker, and as we all, when I say we all, technical glitches. Please apologize. I'm sorry, I apologize. Now, uh, so this is the time to introduce our guest speaker. And as I was saying that we all lovingly call him Doc. Why? Because he is a doctor. And he will tell you more about it. But let me introduce him in his own words, as he say that he is the founder and managing partner of Q Collective Knowledge Solutions, the founder of Q Series, the academic director for IAS orientation classes. He is the director for Q League for schools and college campuses. He has got 11 years of experience in hosting quiz programs for central government institutions, state departments, universities, colleges, NGOs. Now, what is this Q series all about? And why is he so much into quizzing? Well, to know more about it, let me invite our guest speaker, Dr. Nithish Jacob, on the screen. Sir, the screen is yours, and let me put you into spotlight first. You may please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope I am visible and audible for everyone because since everyone is now on Zoom, that is supposedly the first thing that we ensure that we are visible and we are audible. So right now I am in a classroom because I had a meeting today and I am in a college, and so I think it's a perfect fitting because right now I'm in a classroom and all the classrooms are empty. There are no students. All of them are online, and we have a green board as a background, which I feel is apt for today's class as well. So me personally, I am Dr. Nithish Jacob. I am a medical doctor. Right now, I am into the education sector. So as Nisha ma'am mentioned in various verticals, and thank you for the intro, ma'am, Nisha ma'am. And also very happy to be a part of Talksopedia. It's right now in the 22nd session. So great going Talksopedia, and hope it goes on to reach various milestones. So as Nisha ma'am, requested me for a session. So I was thinking about, what to speak. So I thought maybe we will just give a brief intro about our journey in the education sector. And me personally, me coming from a medical background, and right now in the education space, we deal with schools, we deal with colleges, we deal with various agencies, entities, we deal with teachers, principals. So we deal with the whole hierarchy in the education sector. And we personally, that is as part of Q Collective, we are involved in taking workshop sessions. We are involved in civil service orientation classes. We use quiz as a tool. So that is the main USP of what we do. That is, we use quiz as a learning enhancement tool and as a soft skill training. So I think it's best that I go into that. That is what we call as curiosity driven learning. So I welcome all the participants here who are here on a Friday evening listening to a session on learning and teaching. I think I'll share my screen. Uh, is my screen visible now?
No, we can't see the slides.
Okay. So what are you seeing now?
I think it's your desktop, your main.
Okay. Okay. Now are you seeing the slides? Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll just stop screen sharing and I'll just start it once more. Now are you seeing the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, like as usual, technical glitches, which is now, I think, the norm. So I represent Q Collective. I am the founder and managing partner of Q Collective, and I shall briefly explain what we are doing, and then maybe at the Q&A, I'll take questions and other various things from the participants as well as from Nisha ma'am. So, as part of what we do, I think today I'll go briefly into the art and science of learning or teaching, as we say. I hope there are teachers here, there are students here, and the participants, and there are parents also. So, this is what we believe in. That is the whole art of teaching, usually the art of awakening the natural curiosity of young minds for the purpose of satisfying it afterwards. So, this is by a French person, and this I am using this particular slide because this is what we passionately believe in. That is, as part of learning or as part of teaching, as for example, I consider myself as a teacher even now. So, as part of teaching, our main objective is to awaken the curiosity in children. So, children are naturally curiositive. Now, what happens in our educational system? Because we used to follow the British educational system. Even now, the remnants are still there. Because earlier, as part of the British education system in India, it was set up to have the clerical type of jobs. So they needed to make sure those who are in school, in students, as they grow up, they are able to follow instructions. So that was the main objective of our education system. And right now, that is a big hindrance as well, because it's a big obstacle. Because what majority of the teachers do, they just want to go, rush through the syllabus. They just teach or just read out what is in the textbooks, and they hope that the students by heart it. It's kind of rote learning, and they reproduce it like that itself in the examinations. So that is in a brief capsule about what a present education system is like. And I believe it is because of the present scenario that we have a lot of private players who understand the vacuum which is there in our educational space. And that is where they are minting money, most of the private players in the educational sphere. Because if the schools were doing the jobs properly, none of the private players would have any kind of role in the education space other than maybe kind of software solutions. So that is one aspect which we have observed in the educational sphere. Now, so so what extra should the teachers bring in? Now, so as part of curiosity-driven learning, the particular thought process that we would like to promote I would like to give a brief example in the form of question and answers. So this is a question. Okay, since all of you are muted, I think you can send private messages. So just go through the question. So the development of something was credited to a Japanese businessman called Ichiro Uema. And it was his wife who gave the idea that this particular thing should be spiral in shape. Because if it is spiral in shape, it will help in longer action of the product as well. And whatever we are talking about is typically made from the dried paste of pyrethrum powder. Okay, so this is a question. Now, so I have given various things. So the question is, what are we talking about? So what is this? So that is my question. Lot of clues are there. So this is something which you can work out. I'm not saying that the answer is right there in front of the screen, but a lot of things for which you can arrive at an answer or at which you can work out an answer. Those clues are there in the question, and some of the things are being taught in school. So now it's about application of what the students know in a different environment, in a different scenario where it is reframed in a different way. So I believe you can privately message me. Let me see if there are any answers. Yeah. Anyone would like to give guesses? There's no problem in making mistakes, and that is another big thing. We are always hesitant because we believe that making mistakes is a big crime, and that is what we pass on to the students as well. So the students believe that making mistakes is a a big shame. So what we promote in schools that we are associated with, let them make mistakes. It's only by making mistakes that you are able to learn something. So for if you want to learn something, it's almost sure that you would be making mistakes. Yeah, I am getting some answers. No, I'll give out clues. So I'll give out clues. I think most of us know this particular thing, and especially in India, the biggest brand uh, which sells this particular product is named after an animal. So the biggest brand which sells this particular product, yeah, Sarita Shukla. Brilliant answer, Sarita. I don't know whether it's a student or a parent or a teacher or a principal even. So uh, I'll just address at Sarita ma'am. So that is indeed a mosquito coil. So now you can understand the clues were there. So it is spiral in shape. Now it is made of dried paste of pyrethrum powder. So pyrethrum powder is something which the students learn in their science classes. It has insecticidal property. It has insecticidal property, and that is why the dried paste is used to make the coil. Now it was his wife who gave the idea that it should be spiral in shape. Now why should it be spiral in shape? Because now it burns slowly because of the curvature. That is why it is spiral in shape. If it was just a straight line, it would just burn off fast. So now there is application of science in it. Now the clue of pyrethrum was there, and there was a space for all of us to logically guess what could this be. It's not necessary that all of us arrive at an answer, but that particular thought process involved in working out that question, that is very important. I'll come to the science of that. Now, in a similar manner, let's go to the next question. Yeah, this is a logo of a bank. So my question is, which bank is this? And there is a particular reason why they have this logo. Okay, so it works both ways. If you know which bank is this, then you know why they have this particular logo, or if you can work out what this logo signifies, then maybe you can try to guess which bank is this. So it is complementary. Which bank, and as per popular belief, how this logo pays tribute. Any guesses? I'll wait for some of the guesses. No, it's not Axis Bank. It's not Axis Bank. So which bank? Dash Bank. And there is a very particular reason why, the logo is very significant for that particular bank. There is a reason. Again, it's a mix of geography, if you know a bit of history. Yeah, Pramod Shetty. So again, I am addressing it as Pramod sir because I don't know who the person is. So Pramod sir, it is indeed Allahabad Bank. It is indeed Allahabad Bank. Now, so why Allahabad Bank? Now, some of you might be understanding why you could have guessed it as Allahabad Bank. So this particular logo is showing the Triveni Sangamam, the confluence of the three rivers, and the place most significant for that is, yeah, because of Sangamam. Yeah. So Triveni Sangam, the confluence of the rivers, and that is why even the Allahabad Bank, they want to show the importance of the place. So that is why they have the logo. Now, again, these are all things that we may have seen, but the real question is whether we have observed in this particular manner, whether we have really seen with our eyes, whether we went into depth to understand, okay, why is this or what is this? So that kind of thing, which children are naturally inclined to be curious, but we have been suppressed to such a level that as adults we are not curious about a lot of things. Next one. So next question. This is a beach in Odisha, the Chandipur beach. And here you can see a particular phenomenon. That is the seawater recedes from the shoreline and a few kilometers and comes back to the shore at least twice a day. So this is a particular phenomenon in Odisha. That is, the seawater recedes from the shoreline. It's not about low tide or high tide. It recedes from the shoreline a few kilometers and comes back to the shore at least twice a day. So because of this phenomenon, the beach received a very interesting nickname, and it's the same name as that of a type of chocolate biscuit launched by Parle in 1996. Okay, so this particular beach has a nickname, has a very interesting nickname because of this phenomena, and there's a name of a biscuit which has the same name. So now think of biscuit brands and which fits this particular scenario, and that is the answer that you're looking for. Anyone would like to take a guess? A very famous biscuit brand by Parle. Yeah, the Parle is the company which brings out this brand. I'm looking for the. It's not Good Day. Hide and seek. Yeah, Sarita ma'am, that is indeed hide and seek, because the water is going and then coming back, so you can't see the water and then you are seeing it. So the phenomena was nicknamed. This particular beach was nicknamed hide and seek. A very interesting thing, and so hide and seek was a particular nickname. Now this is how we take our classes. Okay, we incorporate these elements to make the classes interesting, and it's multidisciplinary. Next one. Yeah, this is one of my favorite questions. So this is a patent page. This is a US patent page which you're seeing over there, October 26, 1993. And there's a patent number. The patent is method and means for creating an anti-gravity illusion. Who owns the patent of this invention? Now, you might think that this is something which you need to know beforehand. I would say no, you don't need to know this beforehand. There are clues. I'll explain. Method and means of creating an anti-gravity illusion. And brilliant. Pramod sir, that is indeed Michael Jackson. So it's not a scientist or a person from the science field who owns this patent. And all many of us have seen this illusion. And that is the most interesting thing. So this illusion is this one. So Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal, he does a 45-degree lean, and it is because of the contraption in the shoe of the dancers. So that is something which Michael Jackson, worked upon, and the patent is in the name of Michael Jackson. Now, if you check YouTube and if you check stage shows of Michael Jackson, just before doing this move, the screen goes blank. There is smoke everywhere because the dancers need to be in a particular place on the stage, and there's a small contraption which fixes the shoe at the base of the stage. So now the center of gravity changes and they can lean forward because now they're fixed. And this patent is under the name of Michael Jackson. Now, our vision is that suppose, it's a science teacher going to take a topic on gravity, is going to start off with this very interesting question. Now, don't you think the children would be, very interested? Okay, what is this? It's Michael Jackson. Now you caught their attention. Catching the attention is the most important task of learning and teaching anything. So if you have caught the attention, now whatever you're going to speak or whatever you're going to teach, that is going to be absorbed by all the students. That is a guarantee. Now, moving on. Next one. Yeah, now it's getting interesting. Which country's stamp is this? Again, lot of clues are there in the slide. Observe carefully what all the clues are. Work out. Again, this is something which you can work out from whatever's there. Which country's stamp is this? I'm waiting for the answers. Let me check what are the guesses. No, it's not UK. That was the most obvious guess. That was not UK because you saw the Queen over there. No, it's not UK. It's not Greenwich. Again, a good guess. Again, a good guess. But Greenwich is not a country. Greenwich is not a country. So who's Fiji? Good guess. Pramod Shetty. Good guess. It's Fiji. Now, if you see, you can see the Queen because all the Commonwealth of Nations will have the Queen's head. Most of them will have the Queen's head on their stamps. Now, if it was UK, UK is the only country, England or UK is the only country which does not have its name on their stamps. They only have the Queen's head. But here you can see the space, the name of the country space is small. The blank space is small. So it needs to be a small name. And the last letter I haven't blanked out. I is there. I is remaining over there. Okay. So now these are things, to check observation level, what all you are observing, through the whole thing, what all you are absorbing, what all you're trying to work out. Then you can see it's a group of islands. You can see the 180 Meridian International passes through Fiji. And so the answer for this is indeed Fiji. Good one. Next one. The outlets of which international brand or company flipped its logo upside down to commemorate Women's Day on March 8th? So a particular very famous brand or company on March 8th, International Women's Day, what they did is they just flipped their logo. So which very famous brand or company are we talking about? Just think, they flipped their logo. So who could this be? On International Women's Day on March 8th, they just flipped their logo. Any guesses? Yeah, that is indeed correct. Shreya V, that is indeed correct. It is McDonald's. Because, if you think of the logo of McDonald's, it is an M. It is an M. So if it is flipped, it becomes a W. And that is how McDonald's commemorated International Women's Day on March 8th. So now, I think most of you have got an idea the skills involved in working out, questions. So when many people say quiz, many people think in the old format. That is, you need to know a lot of things. Only then you can know the answers. But that is not the particular type of quiz that we promote. So by quiz, we mean involving a lot of skills. By involving skills which help in curiosity, which help in learning, which help you to involve a lot of skills like guesswork. You need to take a decision. You need to laterally think. You need to be multidisciplinary. So these are all the things confined in the quiz that we do. Similar one, where can you see this particular color combination? Where have you seen this particular color combination? This is a particular color combination. Where have all of us seen? All of us have seen this particular color combination. Yeah, that is indeed the Google logo. That is indeed the Google logo. So it is mentioned Chrome, but it's okay. I'll accept it. It is a Google logo. So the Google logo is in this particular color combination. So for small children, when we show this, they think they have seen this, but they are not able to identify where they have seen. It is something which, most of us see it every day. Right now, even for this, you must have opened up Google and all that. But it's all about how we are able to recollect certain things. So our philosophy of learning is about curiosity driven. Now I'll come to the science of it. So a lot of scientific research was done on these things, not by us, by a lot of scientists and experts, and all of them believe that it is a key factor in creativity and innovation. So curiosity is the biggest factor involved in creativity and in innovation. And even if it's business, a leader's ability to handle change, context, everything, it's about your curiosity. And even for psychological health, and then it is one of the most important factor involved in acquiring knowledge. So it's all about various experts who have done studies on this. They are mentioning these particular things which are very important. So this was another important study which was done by Neuron, a peer-reviewed journal. So study's name is States of Curiosity Modulate Hippocampus-Dependent Learning via the Dopamine Circuit, a very scientific-looking name. I'll just go to what the experiment was. So in this particular study, uh, they believe that when we are exposed to questions in this manner, there are certain chemical changes which happen in the brain. And so a study was done where different volunteers, they were hooked onto a MRI machine, and they were exposed to trivia questions, not questions in this manner, just questions, who is this or what is that? And they monitored the brain activity of these volunteers. And so when the participants were curious, when their curiosity was picked, the parts of the brain that lighted up were those areas which are involved in regulating pleasure, and the reward areas lit up in the brain. Now, and also, excuse me, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. So, when a brain is curious, what happens is it shows increased activity in the hippocampus, and this is the area which is involved in the creation of memories. So now what happens when this circuit is activated? The dopamine is released. Dopamine is something which gives us a high. So when we achieve something, or the kind of, you say, adrenaline and adrenaline rush. So dopamine is also something which gives us a high, and this is also very important in the neural connections which are involved in learning. So now comes the interesting part. So after or throughout the experiment, what they did is they flashed random faces. So in between asking questions, they flashed random faces without explaining, why they are doing that. And after this experiment, they found out, they did a small study, and they found out that those whose brains were, or those who were really curious, those whose areas were really lit up because they were curious, those people were the best at remembering those faces. Okay, and that is a very important study. Now we'll come to the summary of the whole study. Now, this is a summary of the scientific research done on exposure to quiz style questions. The curious brains are better at learning not only about the subject at hand, but also other stuff, even the incidental boring information. So now this is very important, of how we design our classes, of how teaching is being imparted in schools, of how teachers can make their classes interesting, of how you can increase the memory retention of your students. And again, there are various things which are involved in memory. It involves a different session altogether. So I'm not going into that, but this is about just curiosity driven learning. Now, again, so exposure to those type of questions help in learning, strengthening your learning circuit and also memory retention. Now, when you saw the questions which I showed earlier, it involves not just the knowledge level that you have, but it also involves your critical thinking skills, how you're able to work out a particular question, how you're able to laterally think, how you're able to come to a decision by working out the clues which are there. So that all these are called soft skills, or what I the better term is essential skills. And in all the research, it shows that these are the most valuable skills which any companies or any employers look at for their employees. So rather than any hard skills, they look at soft skills. So this was by World Economic Forum, and again, this was I think 2 years back, and this list is still valid. You can see the most important skills which you're looking at is problem solving skills, critical thinking, coordination, decision making, judgment, negotiation, cognitive flexibility. So you can see the first skill that they're looking at is problem solving skills, the critical thinking skills. Now, uh, uh, do you think that by just reading out from a textbook and by making sure that the students by heart the same thing and trying to reproduce it in the same manner in the examination will lead to complex problem and critical thinking skills? No, it won't. And that is the biggest factor which our educational sector is now facing. And for that, what we propose, not just us, what people like us propose is curiosity-driven learning or teaching. So what are the outcomes if the classes are designed in this particular way by using quiz as a learning enhancement tool? So now it is one of the most powerful edutainment tool which helps in complementing learning. And it is about connecting issues and thinking beyond the textbooks. So it is not just connecting something which is in your textbook, it connects to something which might be happening in your surroundings. So it's multidisciplinary learning, what you call the Nordic style of learning, the Finnish model of learning. We are not compartmentalizing different subjects, so it's all connected. It's phenomenon based learning. We are not saying that this is science, that this is social, you should learn, okay, this subject is science. It's multidisciplinary. It should be multidisciplinary learning. You should be able to connect the whole factors and parameters associated to something. Okay, for example, now you are having the pandemic. So if you're taking the Nordic style of learning, or if you're taking the Finnish model of learning, it is called the phenomenon-based learning. That is, they take a phenomena and then they connect everything associated with it. There is a medical aspect to it. There is a political aspect to it. There is an economical aspect to it. There's a historical aspect to it. So all these they learn in this particular manner. So now it becomes interesting. Now it becomes hands-on learning. So they are taking something which is, right now they are facing, and connecting the various issues associated with, and learning is happening in this particular manner. So now you can see, when you saw a particular question, it invokes the inherent curiosity. We are all inherently curious. So it's all about invoking the curiosity. And again, now you think, you try to comprehend what is there in the question, you try to analyze, you try to reflect. So all these are soft skills. Now, so it's all about multidisciplinary learning and higher level competitive examinations. For example, I showed you the hide and seek question about the beach in Odisha. That particular question came for a UPSC prelims paper 4 5 years back. So these type of questions are asked in high level competitive examinations. And again, if children are exposed to questions in this manner, it helps in promoting reading and to be updated about current affairs, so that in this particular manner, they are updated. And as ma'am mentioned, so we were doing classes in this manner, we were taking workshops in this manner in various schools. And then we realized that we had a limitation, because when we were talking with various experts in the government, so they suggested to us that, okay, what you are doing is very specialized, it's something very interesting and valuable, but yeah, okay, I got a chat, I was just looking at that. So then, we got the suggestion that you need to scale up. What we are doing, it should be scaled up so that it reaches more schools, it reaches more students. And that is how we design Q series. It's an app which is being integrated in schools, and it involves asking questions in this manner. So every week on different topics, questions are generated by our content team, and then the students get to access it. They go through it, they try to find the answers. They might get it wrong. That is completely okay. It is by making mistakes that they learn. And then the teachers are also complemented by a Q series teacher pack. So now they get to see how they can make their classes interesting, how from a particular question and answer they can add more to it. They can add their own inputs to it and make their classes interesting. So this is very briefly about Q series, what we have designed for curiosity driven learning, which is being used by schools right now in India and the Middle East. So that was a journey which led us to make the app called Q series. Now, it's not that you get the gains out of curiosity driven learning immediately. It's a long process. And here I would like to just mention about an author called James Clear. So there was a new book about by James Clear called Atomic Habits, and it's a very good read. So in that, it's called the power of tiny gains. So if we try to be 1% better every day, okay, just 1% better every day, that means after 1 year we are 37.78% better. So after 1 year, the increased level is 37.78%. If we are just 1% better every day, so being 1% means it's very small, something which we can do. And this is what we believe in, that is students are being exposed to this every day in a small manner. And gradually that particular thought process is designed, it becomes automated, that children, when they see something, they are curious, they try to connect different things, they try to read more about it, they try to link different things. So we believe in the power of tiny gains, that is small improvements every day. And uh, I'm coming to the end of the session. I have made it as brief as possible to give you a flavor of what is curiosity driven learning. So another interesting question. Yeah. So this is again a question. I'm coming to the end of it. Let's see. Yeah. So this person, the person over there, I haven't mentioned what the person's name is. So this person in 2009 gave out a tweet called "Got denied by Twitter headquarters." So this person applied for a job in Twitter. He got denied by Twitter. He said that it's completely okay. Would have been a long commute, so it's completely fine with me. And you can see that was in 23rd May 2009. And in August, the same year, he applied for a job in Facebook. Again, he got turned down. And again, he said that it was a great opportunity to connect with some fantastic people, looking forward to life's next adventure. So my question, so again, in a question format, I'm asking who this person is or what happened to him, after some time. So this was in 2009. So very positive. He was very positive. He got denied by Twitter. He said, it's okay. I'm looking forward. He got denied by Facebook. He said, okay, fine. It was a great opportunity and I'm looking forward to life's next adventure. So who's this person or what happened to him down the road? Any guesses? Either you can just mention who this person is or what happened to him. Any guesses? What happened to this gentleman? I'm waiting for your guesses. So far I haven't received any guess. Anyone would like to give a try, or shall I? Got connected to 6,000 plus more people. Yeah, yes. So, 6,000 plus people. I like that answer because you saw that it was liked by 6,000 people, retweeted and all that. That was fine guess. But this person is Brian. This is Brian Acton. Okay, this is Brian Acton, and Brian Acton is the founder of WhatsApp. Okay, this person founded WhatsApp. And what happened to WhatsApp? WhatsApp was bought by Facebook for $19 billion. So now just think about the irony that he went to Facebook for a job, and uh, he was denied a job in Facebook. And 3-4 years down the line, he made, came up with WhatsApp, and Facebook bought it for $19 billion. So just wanted to give a very positive message that life is all about ups and downs. It's all about persisting and going forward, and then trying to understand the positivity out of each negative downturn that you might be thinking that it's a negative downturn, but maybe reflecting back, you will think that okay, that was something which I learned, something new. I connected with some new people, or I understood why I failed that time. So it was intended to be a positive message through this particular question. I would like to end off with this particular quote. So this is in the locker room of a famous NBA team. It's not a question. I just wanted to end in this manner. When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in two, and I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before. For so I hope you got the message. So you might be hammering on as teachers. We might be persisting on as teachers. Teachers are the people who have innovated the most in this particular situation because they had to go up. They had to change their convention styles and they had to go online practically overnight, which normally would have taken years. The change has just happened in a few months. And so learning is changing, teaching is changing, and it's all about persistence. So in whatever sector you are, it's all about being persistent. And what other people might see as overnight success, you would know that it took days and maybe months and years of toil to maybe reach whatever the level that other people think it as overnight success. So just would like to end on a positive note. Hope you got an idea about curiosity driven learning and about what we do. Now I would like to take any questions if you have. I'm stopping screen sharing, I'm stopping it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I didn't overshoot my time. I think it's on the clock.
Yes, Nitishji, you are on time, and I have received few questions here.
Sure.
One question is from one of our listeners. She wants to know that this world is very competitive, okay, and so as is the education system. Now,
Yeah.
how, as a parent, we can concentrate on avoiding this competition and keep the focus on just learning?
Uh, yeah, I think the onus is on the parents because if you become if you are affected by peer pressure, thinking that the other children are going for entrance or this particular career or this particular profession, that is absolutely the wrong road to take. I am a doctor. I am not practicing. I am in the education sector. So the perfect example, because you never know where your future lies. It's about exploring. And right now, earlier what happened in India is the middle class scenario. So you needed jobs or professions which would ensure that you get a living out of whatever you choose as your career. So that was in the 90s. So that was the earlier generation, and that is why our parents forced the children to take a particular profession. That has changed. Now whatever you're really passionate about, if you become really good at it, you can make it your career, you can make it your profession, and you will indeed become successful. Now if it is money, that will definitely come in the future. So if you are successful, that will come later. Important thing is to persist in what you like. So, and the important message that I would like to give regarding that is, if you like something and if you're doing that, so now you won't think it as work because you are enjoying what you're doing. And if you are really enjoying what you're doing, you'll definitely become the best in what you do, because always you're constantly absorbing the inputs which are needed for you to become successful in that. So that is something which will be imbibed naturally, rather than taking external effort. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. You won't think in that way. You will work 18 hours. I work in this particular manner, and I don't see it as work. I again look up to the next day, because next day is a challenge again for me, because I have taken up this particular decision. No one has forced it on me. And that is why it's very important for the parents to make sure that the children understand what they really like and follow what they are really passionate about. They will don't have any fear about that. They will become successful in what they do. They don't need to become doctors or engineers to be successful in life.
Yes, and when it is coming from a doctor, we can understand that, right? Okay. Now, one question
Yeah.
that now the kids are completely into learning coding. We all have been seeing it everywhere, coding sessions. Even I, in fact, conducted a free session for coding so that we will get more students. But later on, I realized that why to put kids into this the screen timing and all. So, what is your suggestion to those parents who actually want their kids to get into coding and create their own games and all those stuff? What about that? And how can we, divert their minds into something, into curiosity learning or reading books, something like that?
Yeah. So again, as I mentioned, the private education players have a big role in shaping our decisions, in creating kind of peer pressure because millions of dollars are being pumped into marketing and advertising. So now coding is another thing because Byju's took up White Hat Junior. Now there was plenty of dollars to be spent on advertising and marketing, and they received a lot of flack also for that because it was the wrong message that was being carried across. That everyone needed to take up coding because without coding, that particular child has no future. At the age of 6, big corporates are coming to buy the apps which they are making. It's all a kind of it's an ad which they are trying to market and trying to hook the parents to. So that they're doing their job. It's completely fine. They're doing their job. Now, regarding coding, the biggest experts on coding have mentioned that the most primary skill which is needed for coding is logical ability, a kind of critical thinking skills. So these are the first primary skills which you need to be a good coder. So the coding comes later. So if you have, if you are involved in different things which involve in soft skills and critical thinking skills, coding can come later. It's not essential that you take up coding at the age of 6 or 7. You can take it up at any time. So all the programmers or all the experts right now, they didn't take up coding at the age of 6 or 7. They're still successful in life. They're still good coders. So again, it depends upon what kind of aptitude your child has. For example, they really like coding. They can take it up, but don't force it upon them. If it is forced upon them, you are doing a big, what can I say, big hindrance to where their actual interest lies. So let them explore. Let them find. This is time for exploration. Okay, as students, as teachers and parents, what we have to do is give them the freedom for them to explore. Just explore. Let them make mistakes. It's the grades and marks all come later. It won't define you. That is for definite. You can ask any person who has become successful whether their grades or marks had any effect in their later life. So that is what I can say for all the wannabe coders out there.
My personal question: how did
Yeah.
you or why did you move from your profession, you being a doctor, why did you move from that profession to quizzing or teaching?
Yeah. So I come from a medical family. So right from my grandfather is a doctor. Then my brother is a doctor. My uncles, my cousins are all doctors. So that was there. So then at that particular age, we don't think of any career other than being a doctor. So then it's not that I don't like being a doctor. So I really liked interacting with different people, understanding what their problems are. And then when I was practicing as a doctor, most of my patients were children because I was in that particular sector. I was dealing with children in a corporate clinic, their problems, their counseling and all that. So then I understood that most of the problems could be solved in school itself because the teachers are the people who interact with them the most. Then I was involved in quizzing right from my school days. So that also was there. And then I thought, okay, why not involve in a school and understand what the environment is like, what you can do to enhance the teacher's role, what you can do to enhance or improve learning in schools. So I got involved with the school. I did my research full time as a teacher for 2 years. So then I understood that being a quizzer, I took classes in this manner. I took up science and social classes, and then being a doctor, that experience also helped because I was interacting and dealing with different kinds of people. So being a doctor, I think the most important skill is the ability to empathize, the ability to listen to persons and understand how you can help them. So I think that is the most important skill for a doctor. Now when you have a lot of specializations, that is what we are missing out actually. My grandfather was a family doctor for a lot of families. He was not a specialist, but the people trusted him because he listened to people. And actually for many people that was enough. The doctor listened, and what he says would be the right thing, that kind of attitude. I'm not saying that is always right, but that positivity helped for a lot of people. So when we listen to children, okay, when we listen to children, they see us in a the guru. So the teacher is guru, the teacher will always be right. And also that attitude, some teachers, what they do is they take it in an arrogant way, that is, we are always right, you are always wrong, listen to us. So that kind of attitude won't help also. And me not being a typical teacher, so I understood the difference that this can make, and also this type of learning what it can do. So that is how got me into thinking in this manner, and got me involved full time into the educational sector. So for the past 8 years I haven't been practicing, I am full time in the education sector. So that is how I got into this particular sector. And also I kind of say that the meaning of doctor is dossier, that is to teach, from Latin. So actually I'm doing what the term doctor means, that is I'm teaching.
Oh, that was some information that was very new to me. I don't know if others knew about it or not. Now, one question is that, in our times when we were kids, our parents used to be very strict. And those days, as a parent, they believe that, if we get close to our kids will become sensitive, or, they will not be strong. Now, the question is the emotional closeness between a parent and a child. Would it turn the kids into a weaker being, or to face the society or challenges?
Uh, Very interestingly, I happened to come across an article today. So that article was mentioning that we are actually cocooning our children. We are not exposing them to the hardships, to the actual reality in our society. We kind of cocoon them, and then we are exposing them to all kinds of peer pressure without actually making them understand that obstacles are there in life. You have to understand the reality. So what happens is, when a child asks for something, we immediately give it, because we believe that if we don't do that, we are not doing our responsibility as a parent. So that is actually I am a parent, but I have a 3-year-old daughter. So I can't say from my real practical experience, I'm not yet what expert to say about that. But what I believe is that we should be the best persons for them, so that they can, if they make any mistakes, they can come freely to us and can discuss about it. That is, okay, this is what I have encountered, what I should do. They should have it freedom to come and talk with us. Otherwise what will happen is they'll go and discuss it with their peers, and that peers might not be the best persons to give the right advice, or they might be going to other external people. Again, those people would not be having the best interest in their heart. So again, the best people to advise would definitely be parents, because it is their own children. And for that, being strict is one aspect of it. You need to be strict. You can't be always be the the good parent. And again, sometimes you have to be the the good police bad police thing. If one parent is acting as a very strict, at that time that particular child should have the freedom to go to the next parent to get some compassion. So that kind of understanding should be there between the parents. So it's a kind of the good police bad policing thing. A balance of it would work, I guess. So I am also experimenting it.
Yes. Since you spoke about peer pressure, okay, I
Yeah.
want to ask, since you conduct a lot of quiz contests, okay, there
Yeah.
would be different teams, different students. Somebody would be winning, somebody would be losing. So, uh, don't you think that it also builds up some sort of stress in students who are participating in these contests?
Yeah. Ma'am, let me switch on the lights.
Yeah,
Wait.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, it gets dark very fast here. Yeah, so peer pressure, for example, when we do quizzes, winning and losing is part of it. So, some people win, some people lose. So, but what we always try to ensure in the events that we do is, even if you lose out, you are gaining some information over there, which will be helpful later on. So you might not be getting the immediate result for that particular event. You might be losing out. You might be the last person to come for that particular event, but the experience which you gained, or whatever new information that you came across, you would definitely be able to apply it in some other aspect or in something else in the future. That is definite. For example, I am a perfect example. I was an introvert. I did not take part in any kind of I was afraid of the stage. I was not involved in meeting with people or anything of that sort. I was the kind of, the shy, introverted student in class. But then later on, what happened is, while I was in college, I got involved in the college union. I became the college union chairman, and I was forced, to address people. I was forced to address students. I was forced to meet with the principal to deal with, certain problems. I was forced. But what happened out of that was, I started to interact with people. We got different perspectives. So that particular turning point, or that particular life process, what it helped me right now is that I'm confident to talk with any people across the table. So my in my work, the meetings are constant factors. So every day there would be some meetings or the other. It would be with different types of people, different types of people who have achieved a lot. So but we get a lot of inputs from them. We understand, okay, what are they doing different. So it's all about absorbing information. It's not about winning or losing, or whether you're getting any short term gains from something. It's about all about the long term gain. So that 1% gain every day, whether you are better than what you were yesterday, whether something you have improved from what you were yesterday. And again, by another expert called David, I think Eagleman. There was a book called The Brain. He's an expert on the brain. He says that we are not the same person that we were maybe 1 second before. So we are constantly evolving. Our brain is constantly evolving. Our personality is not the same. So we get to understand that we are constantly evolving. So
I think we have lost Dr. Nitish here. He has facing some technical issues. So we'll wait for another 2 minutes and I'll get back to you. Let me just check where he is.
uh, yeah, am I visible? Yeah. Again, technical glitch, sorry. I think some net range went and I had to jump to another net. So I think, yeah, as I mentioned, we are constantly evolving. So it's up to us to decide which skills to strengthen, which neural circuitry you need to strengthen. So that is another very interesting aspect about our brain, how you use our brain, how we use our brain.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitish, for that informative session and also those questions that you asked all of us. To be very honest, I did not know the answers of any of those questions. Only one, the McDonald's one, and that too. Why? Because when we had met in Cochin, you had asked me the same
Yeah,
question, and that's why I
yeah.
remembered that. Okay, so thank you so much for this wonderful
Yeah.
session. And uh, one of our school principals was supposed to join. I would be sharing this live recording with her because she was interested in knowing more about the Q Series app
Yeah.
and to know about the quiz programs that you conduct. So thank you
Yeah.
once again. And thank you to each one of you who attended the session. We will be back next Friday with a new guest speaker and a new topic. Till then, have a great weekend. And sir, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thanking all the participants for patiently listening to me for 1 hour. Thanking Nisha ma'am for inviting me to Talksopedia. Greatly, I'm really happy to be part of Talksopedia. I know Nisha ma'am for I think now 1.5 years or something. So thank you very much, and best wishes for Talksopedia for all the future speakers and for all the events that you are planning for. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you, everyone. Wish
Thank
you
you
all
so
a
much.
good day. Yeah.
Thank you once again, and see you all next Friday. Till then, have a great and happy weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.